This week on the Fan Levitard Show, we talk about the big game that everybody's talking about. Where were you? Did you catch the action tonight or whenever? Big moment. Two heavyweights coming in. Lot of build-up coming into it, and I don't know about you, but everyone is wondering, is this the moment that we get our signature win? Need that signature win to say we have arrived. And after 3 periods or 3 parts of the game, what is it? Periods. It was anybody's game. Quarters. After 3 quarters, anybody's game. And then it goes to the 4th quarter and UCLA takes over, and it ends up not even being close. Fighting Illini women's go down. Big ranked matchup. This is the Fan Levitard Show. We're going to talk all things Illini, just like the Dan Levitard Show. So disappointing to see the women Fighting Illini in need of a big signature win on the season. Ranked 25, taking on the number 3 team. Can't get it done. They go down 70-55. Now, they do have USC coming up, so we'll see what happens on the men's side. Women's, they're fine. They're going to make the tournament. Men's side, you might be a little bit concerned. They're on the bubble a little bit. Illini men's team 17-10. Definitely need a signature win, but they got Duke coming up in just a couple of days. Saturday, big game against Duke. Fighting Illini need that signature win. Michigan State, Purdue coming up, got 3 big ranked matches. If they can get a signature win under their belt, they did beat Oregon at the start of the year. You feel good about the Fighting Illini and their chances of making that tourney. And I don't know about you, but I'm an Illinois-aholic, just like the Levitard Show. So we got to break down the Fighting Illini football team as well. It's the off season, I know, but big pickup in the transfer portal for them, taking down James Thompson Jr. from Wisconsin in rival. It was a big season last year for the Fighting Illini in football, finishing ranked number 13, I think, 10-win season. And they have stacked the D-line on the transfer portal, and that's a big pickup with James Thompson Jr. stealing him from the Badgers. You add Mike New from Ball State, former quarterback coach out of New Orleans, as I think offensive coordinator. And hey, we might get a little bit more than just that ground and pound and trust the defense. Speaking of defense, they got to get that stop rate up. 76th in the nation with a 60.7% stop rate last season. Not good enough. If the Illini want to make a push to the college football playoff next season, they have to get that stop rate up. You look at who won it, Ohio State, number 1 stop rate in all of college football. So if anybody out here is talking about college football teams and next season and they're not talking about their stop rate, they don't know ball. All right, I was about to say something else. They don't know ball. We'll just say that, which some would say is even worse. So, hey, welcome, Van Levitard Show. We got to talk hockey. It happened. Incredible game, 3-2. United States goes down. I watched it. Back and forth. We go down 1-0 to knot it up 1-1. Take that 2-1 lead and thinking, hey, feeling similar to the last time we played. Is this it? Canada ties it up 2-2, goes into overtime, and man, so many chances in OT, but Beddington just didn't let anything go by him. That Austin Matthews chance, oh, that was such a good chance, missing by inches. And Connor McDavid burying it. And this is how dang it, Greg. Gah, you're no longer exonerated. Like Connor McDavid sunk us, Mr. Mick overrated. But Greg's just going to use this to double down and be like, Four Nations, that doesn't mean anything. This could be the passing of the torch, though, from Crosby to McDavid. And Greg Cody could be the villain that pushed McDavid to this desire and passion to once again keep Canada over top of the United States. All in all, though, man, I just want to say this is the most hockey I've watched in like a regular season. Loved it. And we're a hockey channel now, folks. I don't know if you've been following us on the YouTubes, but we got about 100,000 views out of our Four Nations content. And we're going to keep it coming. This is a hockey podcast now, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, dude. Hockey podcast. I love it, bro. Yep. So come here for more hockey takes. I gotta get a favorite team. I mean, I root for the Panthers because of that, but it's always been hard for me to like make it my team because for all my sporting teams, Toronto Raptors, Tennessee Titans, Maryland Terrapins, it's like I chose it. Here though, I root for the Panthers, and it's like do I want them to be my favorite team, but do I want to pick and own something else? But the Panthers are already so good. Torn about that. We'll decide. Like, come on, just make the Panthers your favorite team. But I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me. So maybe I need to watch some hockey and see if I can't form a connection and a reason for a team or just grow that connection that I have with the Panthers. But let me tell you, maybe looking at I think it's the Ottawa Senators with Brady Tkachuk, because man, I loved Brady Tkachuk in the Four Nations. Dude, energy, big hits, loved it. So maybe we'll watch some Senators games and see what happens there. So this is a Fan Lebitard show. You're here because you're a fan of the Dan Lebitard show. So we gotta talk some Lebitard show. And here's one of the biggest things I think we need to address today. Was Dan Lebitard's racist faux pas story worth the wait? He made us wait for it over a week, teased it, and it finally came this week with his faux pas with Jarrett Payton, and Dominique Foxworth was witness to it. Was it worth the wait? I think so, because I thought Jarrett Payton did a great job setting it up of like, oh, there's Dan. He knows me. He's coming over. Of course he's coming over to say hi to me. Just adding more shame and embarrassment to Dan's mistake. Like, not only is he assuming that Jarrett Payton is working behind this kiosk looking thing, but he's completely forgotten that he knows this guy. I thought Jarrett Payton did a great job of like really adding on to Dan's shame and like building up to the moment where Dan then says that, and then having Dominique. Anytime I can get more Foxworth in my life, like it's worth the wait. So the fact that Dominique got to be a part of this and we got some Dominique in this show 100% made it worth it. And with what Dominique added up, like, Dan, I saw you was about to call them. Oh man, saying that Dan was gonna say boy, like that was funny. And for me, worth the wait, because anytime you can get Foxworth, and I thought Peyton also did a great job as a guest. And the added detail that Dan also messed up on the details that Jarrett Payton told him, like my dad didn't run with insoles, and Dan translated that as socks. Like, I absolutely thought that that was worth it, 100%. Another quick thing we got to check up on is the asteroid's chances of hitting Earth. Last time we heard the show mention it, it was 2%. And those are, last I saw, then it went up to 3%. So, I mean, is it something that we should get worried for? But then guess what? It went up to 3%, and now the chance is lowered to 1.5%. So maybe we should just listen to the scientists and not worry about the asteroid yet, because now it's even lower than 2%, unless you're rounding. 1.5 does round up to 2%. Well, you Illinois-aholics, did you enjoy the content of, why don't we call them crackaholics? We call them alcoholics, but not crackaholics. They're addicts. What are the different aholics you know? I listed a couple off of my head. Chocoholic, workaholic, sleepaholic was something I typed, and I didn't even know if that was a thing. And it's not, because then I pulled up the wiki entry for every single aholic. There's bakeaholics. That's definitely a thing. A lot of people went through that in COVID. It's not just baking sweets, like baking bread. So breadaholics, but that didn't catch on. Beeraholic, like, come on, you're just an alcoholic. Birdaholic apparently has enough of a. I'm just a total birdaholic. I feel like you got to go with like the scientific name for birds there and add aholic to it just to sound like even more snobby. Blogaholic, come on, blogs are dead. Nobody's a blogaholic anymore. Bookaholic, audiobookaholic right here, just powering my way through audiobooks. I'm actually reading a book as well, too. Finished, speaking of audiobooks, hey, Nathan reviews Cate Fagan's The 3 Lives of Cate. I enjoyed the book. Got it on Libby, free LA County Library app. Didn't end up having to wait that long. If you remember previously, I did mention it was a long wait. Well, guess what? The library added a bunch of copies, and the wait was not several months. It ended up only being a few weeks, and listened to it, and I enjoyed it. It's a interesting story. It's told from all these different perspectives of not Cate. The main character's name is actually Annie, and she ends up going by 3 different names over the course of her life because she changes her name from Annie to something else after a tragic incident, and it's about kind of unpacking her life from there. And I thought it was a good book. I thought well done by Cate. I'd love to have her on, talk about it. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. I don't know. I did have ideas to get Cate on back in the past and didn't come to fruition, but we'll see what happens. Hey, other aholics. There's a buff aholic. That's apparently people who love Buffy. Like Buffy was so popular that you could say I'm a buffaholic. You know about the sexaholic stuff. There's a lot of different aholics there that I'm not gonna go into. There's, I guess, cataholics as well, caraholics, craftaholics. There's another sex thing there, and you can fill in the blanks there. Filmaholic, flirtaholic, foodaholic. That's just a foodie. Like people don't say I'm a foodaholic. You're a foodie, unless foodie is right in there. Junkaholic. That's someone who collects junk. Isn't there? What's that? There was like a TV show, Hoarders. You're a hoarder. People don't say junkaholics. Hoarder. Hugaholic, apparently. Musicaholic. No one says that. Newsaholic, playaholic, potaholic, rageaholic, refreshaholic, if you refresh your screen a bunch. So there's all sorts of aholics. I mean, I hope that was entertaining content for you of me just listing off all the different aholics. Hey, comment. What aholic is not out there that you think should be out there? I've definitely been a chocoholic, eating all these clearance Valentine's Day chocolate candies. Shout out here, Billy Gill content. Big surprise this weekend. Billy Gill went to Daytona 500 and enjoyed seeing the content he created there. Shout out Matt Kugler. Brother, you got some moves there. Again, thankful for Billy Gill and the extra content. I feel like he's been putting in work. And if you're a Billy Gill fan, heads up, folks, Billy Gill's first FIU baseball call is this Saturday on ESPN Plus. And you know what I do? I'm going to find a way to pull that sound and chop it up. Chop, 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 chop. and put that on the YouTubes. So you can be looking for that. And last thing here to wrap us up, maybe this is going to be a little bit on the shorter side for our episode. We need to talk about Dan and his whole thing of like farting and burping and saying, like, oh, Dan, you know what? Sometimes you just got to let it rip. Like, brother, everybody farts. Just because you farted doesn't mean that you ate something that, you know, your body does not agree with. I'm a very farty man, and look at me, like I'm not overweight there. So I thought that was interesting. And Dan's been kind of revealing a lot of his thoughts on like his health. And honestly, guys, they've been a little weird. Like his comments of like, oh, I know if I eat something I shouldn't, I'm gonna fart a lot, and that it didn't agree with my body. Like, bro, that happens sometimes. That's sometimes you eat something and you just get gassy. Like that doesn't necessarily mean it was bad for you, but maybe his wife is really got him like Valerie. Props. You got Dan all wrapped up. Like, yo, Dan, you can't eat that. That's bad for your body. That's making you gain weight. That's having a negative reaction. Like, that makes you gassy. Like, Dan, if you enjoy it and all the only downside of it is it makes you gassy, guess what? You can do it. Like plenty of married couples survive the farts. You know what I do? You just Dutch oven it and you hope your wife, your significant other doesn't open up those covers. Cuz yeah, there's been some times where I've been firing them off, letting them off, and sometimes you get away with it. Sometimes your wife opens the covers and is also, oh my gosh, what have you been doing under there? Sometimes that's what happens cuz you just been in there farting it up all day, or sometimes you just got to burp. I don't know. Like these are natural body things, Dan, that people do. And I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta let it rip. And I just want to say to Dan, if you hear this, like farting's okay. Just because you farted does not mean you ate something bad for you. This is crazy. Acupuncture 3 times a week. Try a little bit of just regular stuff. I don't know what I mean by that, but Dan, farting's okay, brother. Sometimes you just gotta let one out. I don't know what to tell you. I feel like I'm going a little bit in circles. Uh, but Dan, like, take it easy. Not, I think Dan can eat a lot more than he thinks he can, and there's all these people that he's paying too much money for, and I don't understand. Dan, why does somebody need to come and take your blood so much? That should not be necessary. But I don't know. Who am I to? What do I know? I guess I've been blessed with a fortunate, lucky health life. Maybe I am being a little too judgmental, but I feel like Dan, maybe you need to take a step back and just let somebody with a normal view of things who tells you, like, yeah, farts are normal, bro. Sometimes you're just gonna let them out, and that doesn't mean you ate something that your body can't handle. It's just a fart, Dan. Like, that's it. I don't know what else to say other than try. I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. Just like do some insanity max. I haven't worked out in a bit. If you've been watching, I have gained a little bit of weight. What am I up to? I'm in the low 190s. Where do I like to be? I like to be in the 170s. I did get down at one point in the 160s and very slim and sleek in that, but I gotta get back to working out. All I know is it, your macros, Dan. If you get the right balance of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, you get your macros in a line, and you work out, and you burn calories, and you add muscle, you're gonna increase your metabolism, and you're gonna lose weight. Anytime that I stick to that, I lose weight. feel good, and guess what? I can eat mostly the things that I want and fart too. That's okay. It's okay to fart and things work out. Okay? So just give it a chance. Oh gosh. Well, I think that's gonna do it for me, folks. I just wanted to say that it bothered me a little bit. Dan going on farting. Like sometimes you just fart and that's it. Hey, everybody, go ahead and let one out around your loved ones, okay?